All right, before we get started, this account was created to provide information on how current immigration laws apply to certain factual scenarios. There are many people, I suspect, who are worried about their immigration status, but they're not sure if they should speak with an immigration attorney. Keep in mind, and I cannot stress this enough, that immigration law is unbelievably fact-specific. So even if you think your situation is nearly identical to the one I'm analyzing here, you should still speak to an immigration attorney. The smallest factual difference could change everything in the analysis. That said, this is not legal advice. I'm hoping this will merely help educate people a bit, as I know there are a lot of anxiety exists in certain immigrant communities. Also, immigration laws and procedures will likely change and have already changed quite a bit in the last few months and over the next few months. So what might be current and accurate at the time of this recording could be outdated in the weeks to come or even tomorrow. All right, so this man obtained a green card in 2007 through his employer. The employer petitioned for him through the perm labor certification process. He does not have any records of his employment with that employer and admitted that once he obtained the green card, he quit the job within a few weeks. When asked if he worked for his employer prior to obtaining the green card, he was vague in his responses. He has no criminal convictions or arrests. He wants to know if he can naturalize. All right, so as a general rule, a lawful permanent resident, a green card holder, can naturalize 5 years after they get their green card. Now, in the case of employment, when you get a green card through an employer, you are expected to work for that employer for a reasonable amount of time. So, what is a reasonable amount of time? Different attorneys might have different views on that. I generally advise clients that they should stay with that employer at least for 6 months to avoid any problems, okay? He's had this green card since 2007, so he would have gotten a 10-year green card. In 2017, he would have renewed that green card for another 10 years by filing a simple form. When you do that, the issue of whether you worked for your employer after you got your green card is never going to come up. But when you apply for naturalization, that will be one of the first questions they ask you is, how long did you work for that employer afterwards? I always advise my clients to bring old pay stubs, bring tax returns, W-2s, showing that you worked for that employer so that we can satisfy that reasonable amount of time standard. In this case, he's admitting that he only worked there for a few weeks. We don't know if he worked for the employer prior to that on something like an H-1B visa or an L visa or anything like that. He's not really answering that question too much. So what I worry about is if he were to apply for naturalization, he might meet all the other boxes, check off all the other boxes, but when it comes to whether he worked for that employer after the green card, he doesn't have any evidence. So they could very well deny him, and they could actually potentially go after his green card. That wouldn't be unheard of. So in this case, I would not recommend that he naturalize. I would recommend that he keeps renewing his green card indefinitely. So if he applies for naturalization, not only could his naturalization be denied, but it is feasible that he could be investigated for a fraudulent green card application, and he could lose his green card. Therefore, I just wouldn't recommend this individual to pursue naturalization at this time. I don't think that any good is going to come out of it, and he's safe with his green card right now. He should keep renewing that indefinitely for the rest of his life. If your situation sounds familiar to this or any of the other hypotheticals that I've gone over, call an immigration attorney. You can contact us. Our contact information is below. We're happy to listen to your situation, assess it, and figure out what your options are. Other than that, take care of yourself. Good luck to everyone. I know it's tough out there these days, but keep your heads up.